Snow White opening weekend and why it won't flop. This is very interesting to me because a lot of people are saying that this movie is going to flop. Well, they said the same thing about a couple of films, and I'm here to call complete bullshit. Let's get right into it. Snow White, Rachel Zegler, Disney movie, $65 million opening. A 3-day start is reported for the Mark Webb directed movie of $63 to $70 million, while other sources believe $65 million at this point is fair. This will be the biggest opening of her domestic career because Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was $44.6 million. What this means is this. Let's take a look. One video on TikTok, one video has now reached 9.2 million boosted views, and the videos, the trailer for it, $141 million. It was supposed to come out a full year ahead. A year. March, it was supposed to come out. Here's why I don't think it's going to flop. We need to take a look at two films. Two. And the main ones is because everyone said, oh, this ain't going to make any money. This looks bad. People aren't going to go and see it. Yada, yada, yada. Well, guess what? Not everybody is a critic. Not everybody knows the industry. Not everybody looks at all the gossip and all the bullshit and all the TMZ nonsense. This is what I think is going to happen. This is what everyone thought was going to happen here. Mufasa the Lion King. $35.4 million opening weekend on a budget of $200 million. That's awful. That is awful. And for Snow White to almost double that? Double that. Look at this. $671 million for people who say that's not a good movie. I personally haven't seen it myself, but the box office speaks for itself. People are going back to see it. It's still in the top 4. Almost 2 months after it comes out, it's still number 4 at the box office. Look at that worldwide number. It does insanely well overseas. This is what we also need to take a look at. There's a little movie that came out called The Little Mermaid. Not The Little. The Little Mermaid. Let's wait for this to come up here because this is important to look at. The Little Mermaid did not make a lot of money opening weekend. Now, that had a lot of stuff going against it. Mainly being, why is it not giving it to me? Hello? Hello? There we go. This opened at $95 million. That's not too low. Here's the thing, though. Domestic carried it, pretty much. And then international box office helped it. People said this was not going to make $400 million. It broke even. It broke even. On a budget of $250 million, it made enough to be a profitable film. It broke even for them. And why did it break even for them? Let's think about this for a second. Who mainly goes and sees these movies? Who's going to go and see The Little Mermaid? Yes, your film critics, your movie lovers, yes. But who's the main core audience for it? Families, little girls, moms, grandmothers. That's who's going to go and see that movie. And why I think that matters is because what is coming out relatively soon that's going to be a big box office hit once it comes to the family box office. Can anybody name one that's even going to make a massive splash? I don't think anybody can, because if we take a look at the release schedule, yes, you have Paddington in Peru this week, but let's go to March. Let's go to March, and then we'll go down to April. So coming up with this is awesome. Mickey 17 looks great. Night of the Zoopocalypse is not going to be opening very wide. Going down here, March 14th. Looney Tunes, I don't care how many people say this is going to be a massive big hit of a film. It's not. It's probably going to make 150, 200, maybe 300, $400 million. It didn't cost all that much to make. But for legitimate families, Snow White is the only one coming out around that time. You have Death of a Unicorn, A Working Man, The Woman in the Yard. Going down here, you have Minecraft 2 weeks later. That's two completely different audiences. Two completely different audiences. Minecraft is more geared toward the gamers and the boys. Yes, girls and women can enjoy the Minecraft movie and do play the Minecraft game. However, Snow White, not that boys can't. I mean, hell, I'm a Disney lover. I have a Cruella poster right here. I love Disney to death with my whole heart. What's going to happen is if this movie's good, because this all changes if the movie sucks. If the reviews come out and say it's a garbage film with awful songs and Rachel Zegler gives a downright awful performance and Gal Gadot is unbelievable, then that's it. The movie flops. I don't think it will, though, because a lot of people forget that the director for this is Greta Gerwig. Lady Bird, Barbie, Little Women. Co-wrote the screenplay with Noah Baumbach for Marriage Story. It's not going to be a bad script. There's no way it's going to be a bad script unless her co-writer wrote the majority of it. This is something that we need to pay attention to. There's a lot of factors that go into a movie flopping. It's not just, oh, the trailers look bad. Guess what? The trailers look fine. There's nothing relatively bad about them. Because I guarantee you, if they would have hired short little actors, just little people, dwarves, they would have been that angry anyways. They would have been mad anyways because they don't look like them. Well, guess what? These people look like them. These CGI creatures look like the dwarves that I grew up with. This is what I would imagine a dwarf in a Snow White world to look like. What's going to piss me off is if you don't nail the evil queen. Because you didn't really do a great job with Jafar. Jafar was not menacing. He played it more of like a comedy villain. This one, you need to be evil. You need to give her a very creepy look because in the 1930s, all the way up until the movie came out on VHS and forward, Snow White is still scaring children with the evil queen. With her old, decrepit woman look. And the creepiness in the dungeon area where she has all of her potions and the creepiness that happens in the woods when Snow White is about to go in there and find the Seven Dwarves cottage. That's what's going to happen. What needs to happen is this movie needs to be good. Families are probably going to go and see it. I know a lot of families are going to go and see this because little girls don't have a lot going on with it. Little girls don't have a whole lot of new movies. They don't. This is very important. A lot of people think that Snow White is going to flop. To flop, I think a flop is this. If a movie costs $275 million like this one, what it needs to make to be a total complete flop is not even make its budget back. Yeah, it can be a money loser, but to flop, you need to be a good film and make almost no money back. Look what happened with Borderlands. That flopped because the movie wasn't good. You need to be a bad film or you don't appeal to a big audience. Snow White, Cinderella, Aladdin, Cruella even made a pretty penny. The only movie that kind of sort of flopped was, I almost said Zombieland. Nope. Sorry, Dumbo. Dumbo did flop. They changed it up a little bit. They added a good 50 minutes into it. They added in a little bit of a different story, some different characters, and added in a couple other things. That worked. It didn't work for the audience because Dumbo isn't a beloved character to little children. To little girls, the princesses are what matters. If you say, who's your favorite princess? A lot of people will probably say the top 5. It'll probably be Cinderella. It'll probably be Snow White, Jasmine, Belle, and Elsa. Those are your top 5. Those are your top 5. Because those are the people who are doing the massive meet and greets at Disney World and Disneyland. Yes, Tiana is a family favorite. Yes, Ariel is a family favorite. If you put out any Disney princess film, I don't think it flops. I really don't think so. People said that Aladdin was going to flop. I said that Aladdin was going to flop. It made $1 billion. Beauty and the Beast, they said that was going to flop. The trailers look bad. It made $1 billion. Pinocchio went right to Disney Plus. It was awful. It went straight on Disney Plus. That's why. Lady and the Tramp is fine. The live action remake is fine. The animated, masterpiece. But what do you think? I think that Snow White's going to be absolutely fine. With an opening here, domestic, of $65 to $70 million opening weekend, you have 2 weeks all to yourself on IMAX screens. You have your family audience built in there. You have your little girls. You have everything. Now, for kids, they're going to go and see this movie again. I might go and see this movie again when it comes out. If the movie's good, it's good. If it's not, I think it'll still do fine because look at Mufasa the Lion King. What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below and let me know your thoughts.